I mean, maybe. Okay, hello. I usually just say it in my head. It's one of my gamer tags. So, this is Station Alicel. I'm trying some stuff out because I've never done this before. Let's just get started. So this video, I am tier ranking all of the new albums that I listened to in 2025. So the albums and EPs that came out in 2025, and which ones I liked and which ones I didn't. So, I also think I'm gonna switch this. Let's try again. Yay, this reminds me of when Zoom was new and everybody had no clue what we were doing, and people spent all of class, like digital class, trying to figure it out. Figured it out. Okay. I listened to just under 20 new albums from 2025, and this is me ranking them. I think I'll just hold this. That might work. My top tier, S tier, is Crying, Sobbing. It's so good. I'm in love. A tier is This Is Everything. The songs are so good, and I've been listening to it nonstop. The next one is just added to the playlist. It had either most of the songs or just a few songs that I really liked, but wasn't worth freaking out about. My C tier is It's Cute, but it's not my baby. It's cute, but I liked some of it, like parts of a song maybe, but I didn't really like any of the songs so much that I add them to a playlist. And then D tier is She's Really Good. So the first one I'm going to put into this category, cute but not my baby, is Swag 2 by Justin Bieber. Now, this one felt really unnecessary. It kind of had pretty much the same songs as the first version had, just with a few extras, and I didn't really like it. So, anyways, yeah. It had a couple of good things about it, but I don't think it was necessary. Our next one is Sabrina Carpenter's Man Child album. I just listened to this again. I've been kind of avoiding Sabrina Carpenter just because I know she's really popular. And I don't want to be, someone who's overly obsessed with the popular people. But I thought the album was playful and overall, had some fun vibes. It's just not really my style. Some typical pop, but nothing really stood out to me as wow, this is amazing music. I don't know. Nothing special for me, but, go Sabrina, I guess. Next I had, let me know if you disagree, but I had Lady Gaga's Mayhem album, also in cute, but not my baby. I liked Lady Gaga's earlier stuff, and there were at least 2 songs on this album that I did enjoy, but not enough to be I don't know, nothing super stunning. Or the track titled The Beast loosely reminded me of Michael Jackson's Dirty Diana, and I really like that song, so I think that's why I liked that song on her album. I think a couple other songs kind of reminded me of Michael Jackson, but overall, the beginning songs were just really intense pop, but not in a way that I enjoyed. Florence and the Machine, one of my favorite artists. One, I think the timing of the release for her album was weird because she released it on Halloween, and it was pretty witchy vibes, so I think it would have been better if she had released it at the beginning of October so that people could enjoy it during spooky season. So I thought that was a strange choice that her and her team made. Everybody Scream is the album, and I didn't think it was as good as some of her previous albums, especially her early ones that I really liked. The songs at the end are totally stand out though. I don't know if I want to interrupt looking up this album, but we're gonna do it anyways. Okay, so the songs that I did like on her album were pretty much the last few. I really liked The Old Religion, track 8, and I really liked You Can Have It All, track 11. Music by Men I thought was also pretty good, but anyways, just kind of a disappointment overall for the music that I usually expect from her. Yeah, so that's my thoughts there. I think G-Eazy, actually, his album, Helium, I have to put kind of in the middle of cute, but also I added a couple of songs to a playlist. I did add some of Florence's songs too, but I just think overall as an album, it wasn't that inspiring. I don't know. I'm sorry, Florence. G-Eazy, I have not listened to him in forever, but I liked a couple of his songs. One of the songs reminded me of Jay-Z's Empire State of Mind and of Drake, and I don't really listen to Drake either, but I just thought his sound was sort of similar. Like tracks 6 through 9 I thought were actually pretty great. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. And then I thought, let's do added to the playlist. So I added Justin Bieber's Swag to add it to the playlist because I think after it came out, I did add several songs to my like current music kind of playlist that when I'm listening to go-to music is what I call my playlist. I did like a lot of the songs. However, I haven't listened to it since the summer, so I'm not sure that it will really stick around for me. But I did think it was very Michael Jackson coded, so. Is Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's I Said I Love You First album. I thought a lot of the songs were fun, so I added them to my playlist. Like You Said You Were Sorry is probably my favorite song on the album. But I think her Rare album from 2020 was better. So I really like music from all over the world. I don't just listen to top US charting artists. I really like Arabic pop and Latin pop and K-pop, J-pop, all of that. So this next album is from Marwan Musa, and the translation is The Man Who Lost His Heart. It was his album from May, and I really liked this album. I liked at least 4 of the tracks that I saved to my playlist. I've only listened to the whole thing like twice maybe, but one of the songs has been on my Arabic playlist forever. Let's see. Alafain, I really liked that one. That one's really good. So, peak. Next we have Nancy Ajram, also another Arab pop singer, with her album Nancy 11. I was really surprised by this album because in at least 3 of her songs, she used an electric guitar, which is not very common in Arab music at all. And I hadn't really heard it before in any music, like mainstream Arab music, until this album, and I thought that was awesome. There were 3 songs that I absolutely loved. Ensa, I liked Ensa. And then Nancy's album, Badi ul Behbek, I Want to Tell You That I Love You. أنا تبعني سيدي يا سيدي لغات الحب على علمي. I don't know, I really liked this album, so yeah. So a couple of in between A and B tiers. My This Is Everything, but also I mostly just added it to my playlist, was Karol G. Her album, yeah, Tropicoqueta. It had some really fun songs, but it wasn't as like creative musically, I don't think, which is why I kind of put it closer to add it to a playlist. But I did think she did a great job. There were some different like genre blending tracks that she had. Not as much as Rosalia, who we will talk about soon, but I did appreciate some of the songs. So I think I'm going to stick that one in the middle. This next one might be controversial for me because NF is one of my favorite artists in general. And Fear was his EP that he released, and I'm going to put that in between added to the playlist and This Is Everything. And I think part of the reason is because the track Fear is everything. That song is so good. That song alone could be in crying and sobbing. But the rest of the EP I thought was good. It just was really short. And there were a couple songs that I always skip. But I did like his feature with MGK. That song was pretty good. The Sorry track was also really good. I don't know. It was good. It just wasn't my favorite music, but Fear, the track, was really good. Okay, I think we're going to move into This Is Everything. I only have one album in This Is Everything, and that would be 21 Pilots' Breach album that they came out with in September. I was a couple months late to listening to this album, but when I heard it, it was so good. I think I listened to a couple of their previous albums from like pandemic era, and I didn't really like them. But this one has so many good songs. Let's see if I can just like... Raw Fear, Drum Show, Garbage is one of my faves. The Contract is so good. Downstairs has a really catchy melody and chorus that I really like. Cottonwood is actually goated. I really like that song. That one could be crying and sobbing from this album. One Way was really fun as well. So yeah, overall, I think it was everything I wanted from 21 Pilots, which is great. So I guess we'll jump down to She's Really Good, because this one had quite a few disappointments. I think I'm not a Swiftie in the sense that I'm like a huge fan, but I do enjoy Taylor Swift and I like her music. But Life of a Showgirl was just not what maybe I just have too high expectations for Taylor Swift, just because she's released so much music. So I just feel like this one was pretty lacking, compared to her other albums. I'm not trying to super diss on this album because I feel like a lot of people were, but like maybe also it's just because it wasn't that good. There were a couple songs that got popular, but I think the Tortured Poets department had really, really good emotional songs, and this one didn't really feel very emotional. It just felt like typical pop, which is fine. One that is like super popular is Bad Bunny's album from last January. So I think part of the popularity is because it had a whole year in 2025 to be enjoyed, and around the world, obviously. I don't speak Spanish, but I assume that it's Debí tirar más fotos. Personally, I didn't really find it musically interesting. I do have several of Bad Bunny songs in my World of Music playlist. And I really like his voice, but I just feel like there were songs with good hooks and good beats, but then the rest of the song like ruined it for me, or just wasn't that interesting. So I'm just going to put it in She's Really Good. I listened to an album by some artists that I've never heard of before, Wet Leg, and their album Moisturizer. It's not to say that it was bad. It's not my kind of music. I do like alternative music though, so I think maybe I had some sort of expectation, and seeing it on like the Rolling Stones list too, I was like, oh, okay, but it was just kind of boring. So, yeah, just weird with some groovy moments. The next one that I didn't really like was Lord's album Virgin. I think it reminded me a lot of Alanis Morissette, and I don't really listen to Alanis Morissette, but like the vibes were there. I just think it was boring. So, sorry. And then, did I put Demi Lovato's album in She's Really Good? Oh dear. Sorry, Demi. Yeah. It's Not That Deep is going into She's Really Good. And I think it's fitting that she is the voice behind the meme anyways. So I think it was exactly It's Not That Deep. There were a few good lines in some of the songs, and of course her belting is always amazing. I just don't really like club music, and that's what this album felt like. So, it is what it is. And now getting to my absolute favorite albums of 2025. So this one I need to give more listens to, but I'm going to say Rosalia's Luxe album was really, really cool. I think she did some amazing work, and all the people that helped produce and did the instrumentals and played the instruments, like, phenomenal work. I really liked that she sang in so many different languages. I wrote it down. She did Catalan, which is her native language, Spanish, English, Japanese, German, Italian, Ukrainian, Arabic, and Latin, which is just wild. I can't say too much on her pronunciation for all of those languages, but they sounded great to me. The Arabic was really soft, so I couldn't really tell it was Arabic unless I was reading the lyrics. So I don't know if that was really good. I do speak Arabic, or at least I studied it while I was in school, so that is why I listen to a lot of Middle Eastern music. But yeah, I think Rosalia did a great job, and just a phenomenal album, and all of the really cool genre bending that she did in the tracks, I think was really fun and really creative. So I want more music like that. And then probably my favorite album of the year was by Zeyne. This is her album Auda. And this album I thought was just so beautiful and super creative. It's, I think, technically Arab pop, but I think it was pop mixed with R&B and hip hop in a really fun way. Arab Minni, close to me. Sitt Subah, 6 in the morning. Ilya, I think, is to her. Jdeed means new. Bali, so Jdeed and Bali are some of my favorite ones on the album. They're just so fun. Yom Wara Yom is really catchy. And then Alim Ha'i'a. Yeah. I listen to these songs, all of them in order, just because they're so good together. And I think the first time I heard it, I was probably crying and sobbing, but that's just how I feel listening to it. Just wow, the talent. It's just magical. So that was my tier ranking for all of the albums, the new albums that I listened to in 2025. I did listen to singles from a few new albums, like the Morgan Wallen album. I listened to a couple of songs. I just don't really like country. And then I listened to a couple of Miley Cyrus's songs from her new album. And I just thought it was scary. It sounded really creepy when I was listening to it. And it was like at night. So I just never listened to the rest of it. But let's see. I think, yeah, those are the only albums that I tried listening to and just didn't finish. But I want to know, what were your thoughts on the new music from 2025? Are you rooting for any of these albums for a Grammy? I can't say that I really am. I mean, if Rosalia's album is up for a Grammy or something, hell yeah. But I don't really know. Other than Lady Gaga and maybe a few other people like Bad Bunny, I know some of them are up for Record of the Year and Album of the Year. But I don't know. I think Zeyne should win something. And Rosalia for sure. So let me know what you guys think. And thanks for tuning in to Station Alisel. Subscribe if you want to hear more about music or books and movies. I'm going to be doing reviews for a bunch of 2025 media and then moving into Q1 of 2026. So thanks for joining me and have a great day. Bye.